Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, they are demanding that government provide the needed funds to enable suppliers to give senior high schools the needed food supplements for smooth academic work. CHASS had earlier warned the Ghana Education Service not to reopen schools due to some challenges, but GS still went ahead to reopen the schools, pledging that they would ensure that they address all the concerns raised by CHASS. We engaged CHASS 2 days back. Let's just get an update. Join me now is Primus Barrow. He actually speaks for CHASS. He is the National Secretary. Thank you so much for your time here on News X. Give us updates. As we speak, how many schools have all the needed supplies to feed their children?
So good morning, and thanks again for giving us the opportunity to update the nation and, for that matter, the parents on the situation on our campuses. There is really nothing like any school in this country having all the needed items. There is only something like schools being given some quantities of food in varied quantities and in varied forms to manage the situation. As we talk, some schools, I must say, are a little bit okay, coming from different, premising that on for different reasons. Some already have some support from their PAs, augmented by what government has supplied. Others are still in very dire.
You mean PTAs, rather?
PA.
Okay.
Parents Association.
Okay.
Parents Association.
Okay.
Yes. Others are still in very dire situations. Even with the, with the supply of some food items. Admittedly, some food items have reached out to almost every school in this country. But I'm saying dire because what is actually needed to run or to feed the students is still woefully inadequate. And I'll just give an example. My checks indicate that, especially for schools that are found in the northern belt and some in the middle belt and south, they still lack, apart from rice, typically, if you take a place like Upper West, Upper East, if apart from rice, they do not have any other cereal. You can't talk about maize, you cannot talk about millet. So it is rice and nothing more. You go to what is used to make the soup. Some schools for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. So my matron, for example, will rely on things like margarine to do, and the margarine is finished. Next week, if I don't get margarine, there will be nothing to stand in for oil. So the situation is still, we are still not out of the blues, and the situation is not a uniform situation. Some are a bit okay, others are okay, and some are still in dire needs. So that is how I can describe the situation as far as food is concerned.
We've been receiving reports from certain schools we visited that some parents are hesitant to allow their children return to school because of the fear of lack of meals. So we wanted you to give us specifics. For example, the Greater Accra region, how many schools are we sure have enough supplies to feed the children so that parents know that they can at least send their children to school? At
a national level, we've been trying to collate the data. Unfortunately, sometimes, for whatever reason you cannot tell, our own members are not forthright in coming out with the issues. So that question, I will plead that you rely more on the information from the regional chairman, because they are actually the ones to supply national office with this. Unfortunately, because they equally don't have that cooperation from their members, they are not able to give us. So I'll not be able to stick my neck out now and be able to give you numbers. But I can just give you a general idea about what pertains, across the country generally. But what I can say is that for now, all schools in this country are in the position to be able to manage the situation. And the key word, the operational word there is manage.
And what manage here means what exactly?
You will just be able to provide something for the students. You'll be able to provide something that is available in your stores for the students. And like I gave an example of my school, I do not have anything apart from rice. So I'll be able to provide something rice, breakfast, lunch, and supper. And that is true for almost all the schools in Upper West and in Upper East. In some cases, they may have some other food supplements, other food items to supplement. So the situation generally is not too good. It is not up to our expected standards. And so I can only advise our parents, yes, parents can send their wards to school because there's now something to be provided for them. But then we will add strongly that as you send your ward to school, please add the attachments. You have to accompany with the gari, the normal shito, and the normal sugar, and any other thing that you can give to a child to live or to survive on while on campus, while we pray. As we talk now, this morning, we are still engaged with the Director General of Ghana Education Service. In the next couple of minutes or hours, we may write to him acknowledging the food and some monies that have been received, but also indicating to you that the situation is very critical. I will point out the very critical areas for the Director General of Education.
Can you share with me how much exactly has been received? Since in your letter to him you acknowledge that, do you have the specific figure so we know how much is left?
Like I explained in my engagement with you the last time, there's always a difficulty in indicating how much is received because as I talk, I don't know how much. That check has not been given to me. Maybe it's my president who may be able to speak to that. Okay. I don't know the check value. But I know for sure that some monies have come in respect of payment of the arrears of recurrent that were requested for. Some have come in respect of perishables. And some monies have also gone to day schools. As we talk now, including my own school, it hasn't reflected in my bank. So I don't even know what country of money has come in respect of what. So we only hope that we are still collating, and I've seen some information on our national platform. We hope by the close of day tomorrow, we'll know at least exactly what has been catered for. And we may be able to tell which areas have not been catered for so far. But the quantum of money, we may not be able, as CHASS to say, because like I said, CHASS has never been involved for a long time now in the fee fixing structure. So we don't even know what goes in for what. So that is the situation we find ourselves in now. But some monies have come in that respect. But we're yet to know exactly what it covers and then we'll be able to analyze and indicate what has not been covered.
Thank you, Primus Barrow, for your time here on News 6, just giving us updates on the actual situation in the schools. They say they are able to manage the situation. He used that word carefully. Oh.